Hey, this is Chrisim with the Astrology Soul Tribe Energy Update. So it's been a hot minute since I have been on here. I've been busy living life and taking it all in before um, we have to reconvene for the fall activities and routines that have been taking over our life, especially with kids. So I am popping on here because Mercury retrograde is just pretty much here. So for those of you who have never been here or have joined me in any of my videos, Mercury retrograde happens about 3 times a year for about 3 weeks. We have typically 2 shadow periods before and 2 week shadow periods after. So what happens in a Mercury retrograde? Mercury is the planet of communication and technology. And typically when the word retrograde, it appears to be going backwards. So what happened is with those 3 weeks usually is a lot of communication breakdowns, things that don't go according to plan, little snafus here and there. So it's really not a good time to start really implementing a lot of these changes. Instead, Mercury retrograde is a lot about inner reflection. It's a lot about redoing, finishing up old projects instead of starting new projects. It's also not a good time to really start new contracts or go long distances and travel. If you are traveling, the benefit of that would be to reconnect. It's all about reconnecting with friends, old family members, people you haven't seen. Also, to finishing up old things. So that could be tying up loose ends. People might come back from your past to almost finishing up something that you have started that almost like needed to come to an end so you can move on to your next chapter in life. So this particular theme with Mercury retrogrades is happening in air signs. So this is the last one of the 3 of this year, and it's going to be ending in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is all about balance and partnerships and bringing things back into order. So we actually are currently in a shadow period right now. It started on the 7th or the 8th of September, but officially we start retrograde September 27th, and it will end October 18th with the 2 weeks of shadow period ending on the 11th of November. So this year's theme, like I said, is going to be in air signs. It's going to end in Libra. This aspect really affects anybody with birthdays October 2nd until the 20th, or if you have Libra somewhere in your chart within these certain degrees. So within the degree 10 degrees, between 25 degrees. So the energy is basically focusing on rebalancing your life. Maybe something has been out of whack. So it's really about bringing things back into order. Some might be feeling this major shift and change right now. A lot of people's worlds are in this almost like a whirlwind of things that are happening all at once. Like it's like there may be big major moves coming. There may be job changes. There may be shifts in people and places inside of your workspace. So there's a lot of like things happening at once. It's a lot of balls up in the air. It's because what's happening is we've either been working on something or manifesting something, and the energy is shifting for everything to start to line up for you, because maybe perhaps you've been stuck for a very long time in this energy space, and now things are starting to come into alignment. So everything is like, Dorothy's, Kansas City, the whirlwind, everything's just up in the air, and it's just it's not catastrophic. It's good changes to bring peace and harmony back into one's life and to help you along the journey moving forward. But in the interim, it does seem like it's a little chaotic at times. So it's a lot of purging, a lot of clearing away. You may feel pretty stuck, but these things need to dissolve so you can start to see some gains in certain areas and aspects of your life. Again, Libra is all about balance. That's balancing out the scales. Maybe your world has been on tilt and you may have difficulties and struggles, and you may feel like you've been shoveling shit against the tide lately. Libra is all about partnerships and relationships. So maybe you've been single, or perhaps there is some friction or frustration in a certain situationship or a marriage. But either way, this is really to help bring order, and it's about to be restored. So this will, like I said, bring about harmony in certain areas of your life. So after the period of retrograde is over. So it's really, it really depends on other aspects too in the chart, on your own chart, and everybody's things are all individual. Not everybody's going to share the same static, For example, Mary's probably a Libra rising with a lot of Libra in her chart. So she's going to feel a little bit more, and she's probably, dealing with a lot more stuff versus someone who doesn't have anything and they're just kind of still going about their life, and it won't be as, in front of your face. So not a lot of major life changes could be happening as well. And there are also things that you have to take in consideration. There are certain planets that might still have a retrograde in them. And I don't know off the top of my hand the actual dates, but I do know that Saturn is still in retrograde. So Saturn is the planet of restriction and authoritarian. So there could be a little bit of hesitance. There could be a little bit of friction going on. That's things that are kind of like not going as smooth as you would like the transition to be. But these are lessons that you have to learn. So there are some hurdles and some blocks that you have to kind of overcome in order to smooth out the surface to move into the next, like, leveling up in whatever it is that you are doing. So when like I said, we go back to Mercury retrograde is really all about redoing things, things that have been on the back burner for a while. This could be some home projects. This could be finalizing some plan that you have put on the back burner. Now is the time to really tidy up all these things, home projects, business things, relationship things that are coming to an end, so you can bring out the new beginnings. It's really, do not sign new contracts, do not buy a new car. It's really about time for inner reflection. 3 weeks, great time for vacation if you can take that. It's really about thinking through what needs to change. And where, again, like I said, Libra is in the air sign, and it's also ruled by Venus. So it's also to making you look at your relationships to see what you might be missing, things that you are lacking, things that you need to bring into balance. If you are single, maybe this is a time to really think about partnerships. Business, maybe it's about how you can collab or network. But again, you don't want to start implementing any of these things in heavy form until after the 3rd. So it's really about taking your time to sift through and purge things that no longer serve you in order to continue to move forward. So I did pick up some cards. So I'm going to actually pull a couple cards just to give you kind of like a theme of what needs to be said. So I am going to pull a couple cards. Some may resonate and some might not resonate, and that's okay. Because obviously the reading wasn't for you, but it might be for somebody else. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. In the interim, if you do like my, things that I do happen to offer as far as energy updates. If you could just like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be fabulous. I also do own a holistic healing business in Londonderry, New Hampshire, if you were in the need of rebalancing some of your energy. All right, so the first card I'm pulling is, it's a time to give rather than take. So when I look at this card, it's just, also, even though it's might not be giving to, taking from others, but it's also giving back to yourself as far as, nurturing yourself, nurturing and honoring your boundaries. But it is also, helping others out in a time of need. Your commitment is being tested. So you might be going through some a little bit of stress or some tumultuous events right now within a relationship. So it is being tested. It's seeing, what am I willing to put up with and what am I not willing to put up with? Do I stay? Do I go? Or, maybe we need to rehash some terms, when moving forward. And this, again, plays out in every aspect of your life. It's not just personal, like serious romantic relationships. It could be business. It could be just personal, your self relationship with self. It could be with your kids. It could be with, coworkers. Like I said, take what resonates. And this last card is, once Mercury retrograde is over, and this opens up for a new romantic cycle to come in. So a new romantic cycle is beginning. It doesn't necessarily mean you might not be getting into a relationship right away, but you've cleared away, you've done the work, or you're moving forward to open up new energies to come in to create something that is meant for you on your path and your journey. So that is the 411 on Mercury retrograde and what is happening. Like I said, some people are starting to feel the energy. It's not as catastrophic as some of the energies that have been connected to Mercury retrograde. Like I said, it is an air sign. Air signs are very indecisive, especially the Libra. They're very, they need balance. They need restoration. They need harmony. It's all about art and beauty. It also could be too, you might be feeling this pull into redecorating your home or space, or rearranging some things to bring in more beauty and balance, construction or some sort to just, create more of a sanctuary for you so you can feel safe in your own space. So that concludes the energy update for today. Again, if you'd like to know where about it is in your chart, feel free to reach out to me. And or if you're looking for an energy healing, you can do that as well. You can text me at 603-365-8333, and I will be happy to explain all the things in a little bit more personal reading for yourself. And thank you, and we will see you in the next video.